Starting on defense for Massena. Toth out there with Brandon Hall. And off the draw, the puck comes to Nick Toth, takes it to the red line, dumps it just across the blue line, poked away, and it trickles back in Massena territory. Toth back after it. He'll bank it off the boards behind the net to Brandon Hall. He bangs it, doesn't clear the zone. It bounces back into the corner. They got a man in front, but Toth pokes it free. The bouncer in behind the net. Hall throws a check. Trying to come up with a puck. He can't. Hurley he does, but we have a whistle. Apparently the puck came out of the zone. They're going to call offsides.
Raiders and both these clubs, both the Raiders and the Indians, played last night, so no advantage except Glens Falls, of course, be able to sleep in their own beds last night. That home cooking, which is always important.
Foster's line out for Massena now. They had a great game last night against Saratoga. Off the draw, the puck sits there, picked up by Toth, skates across the red line, flips it across in the zone, gets upended. The Falls, they've got a hanger. He breaks down the other side. That's Gerard trying to center it in front, and it's knocked away, goes into the corner. And a good back-checking job by Toth that time. Here comes Adam Catanzarite, breaks it out. Headman pass knocked away. Brandon Hall throws a check. The puck sits there, and across the line it comes. Here's Glens Falls again. Here's the shot. Big save, rebound. Dusty makes a huge save, diving across, got his stick on it. And boy, I'll tell you, we got a bird's eye view to see these things at this end up here. And what happened, he made the save, gave up the rebound. The follow-up shot was headed for the corner. He dove over with his stick and made the stop.
Two great saves. The first one off of John Naylor on that right side from just above the dot. A scorcher, made the save, gave the rebound, as you said, and it looked like Hurley, he was going to put it in the empty net, but he got the paddle on it. Two great saves by Dusty.
Off the faceoff, puck at the point. Here's a shot, another save. Puck goes into the corner. After it, Mankeys, he can't come up with it. Young is there. He rides it in behind the net. There's a battle behind the boards, and it finally comes to, well, it was coming to Whitcup. Now it bounces free. Here's a centering pass, cleared by Dusty DeLille. Back to the point, another shot, another save by DeLille. As the Indians putting some pressure on. Fleury with the puck centers it, cleared back to the blue line and out to center ice. Trickles down inside Glens Falls territory. Edwards after it there on the defense for the Indians. Edwards checked away from the puck. Here's the Raiders trying to center it. Goes back to Hatch at the point. He flips it off the boards in the corner. Ramo is there. That's Aaron. It jumped over his stick. On the other side, it's Pasco. He moves it off a stick out to center ice. Brian Hatch circles back for Massena. Hatch headman pass to Ramo. Ramo gathers it in, looks to feed it ahead for Rupert. I think it's going to be icing. It looked like Rupert tried to get a stick on it and couldn't, so the faceoff will move back inside Massena territory. 13:07 left in the first period. No score on the Snyder and Snyder Attorneys at Law scoreboard.
Captain Nick Toth coming off an outstanding game last night against Saratoga. Just made a last shift prior to the last shift, made a great defensive move on that 2-on-1 Glens Falls break.
Nick Tubolino out there for Massena. Nick Toth takes the puck off the faceoff, circles in behind the net, looks, goes on the wing to Zach Dupree to the blue line, not out of the zone. Puck bounces in the slot, and here's a chance in front. He fanned on it. The rebound shot I don't think got through. Puck in the corner. That's O'Brien. Back to the point. Here's the drive from the point. That's wide. Bounces around to the other point, and at center ice, it just trickles across the blue line. Here's Tubolino down the sideboards. Tubolino takes it across. He's checked out of the play. Tries to stick it through, but we have a whistle behind the play. And was it offsides?
I think it's offside, Jerry.
Okay, yep, that's what it was.
I tell you, the Glens Falls club have come out here on their game starting at 12:30. The Raiders, I think, starting at 12:45 because they're coming a little slow. They haven't started yet.
Now the Raiders are a little slow in the uptake so far here. Still 0-0. Bouncer at the blue line. And the Indians try to control it. They can't. It's Gerard with it. Takes it across the red line. Makes a nice move. Here's his shot. And DeLille made the save, and it kind of bounced funny off his pad in behind the net. Now Hatch trying to throw a check. Whitcup is helping out behind the net. The puck comes free. Picked up by Naylor. Naylor flips it to Gerard. Gerard along the boards. Back to Naylor. He gets by the check. Here's Naylor in behind. He gets tied up again by Whitcup. Whitcup finally comes away with the puck behind the net. Robbie Whitcup trying to poke it ahead. Ramo can't control it. Still controlled by the Indians in the slot. And finally it's picked up and banged out to center ice. Here comes the bouncer. Ramo after it along the boards. He backhands it across the blue line. Glens Falls territory. Elliot Edwards loses it to Michaud. Michaud trying to center. We have a whistle. We're going to have our first penalty of the game. And I think it's going to go against Massena from the looks of it. Now wait a minute. I better not make a call yet.
I thought it was going to go against Glens Falls, but you're right. It is Massena.
Yeah.
Is that
Ryan Ramo.
Ryan Ramo is going to pick it up.
Interference.
Ryan spent a lot of time in the sin bin last night. He had 3 minors and a misconduct, and the Raiders killing a penalty here with 11:45 left in the first period. No, 0-0.
Wins the draw, flips it across the blue line. He's taken out of the play, trying to stay with it. He almost does, but Gerard moves it to center ice. Bounces around, dumped into the Massena zone, gathered in by Hall. Hall has it poked away, trying to hold his man free. Bounces in behind the net. Indians control. Puck goes side right in front, and Dusty DeLille is going to cover up and hold on for the faceoff. As the puck came out of the corner, squirted right into the blue ice in front of the net, and DeLille pounced on it.
Unofficially, and it'll tell you the territorial edge, unofficially, Glens Falls 7 shots on goal, and the Raiders the big goose egg.
Yeah, they haven't even gotten the puck much in the Glens Falls end as of yet. Herlihy takes the draw. Raiders win the faceoff. Leduc off the glass to the blue line, trickles. Here's a shot high over the net. Bounces in behind the net. Picked up there along the boards. They got a man free. That's Naylor. Naylor trying to flip it on the other side. Gets it back again behind the net. Setting up there. Goes back to the 45, but it gets by the man back there and out to center ice. Bouncing away. Here's Michaud picking up the loose puck, dumping it deep. About 40 seconds left in the man advantage. No score in the hockey game on the Snyder and Snyder Attorneys at Law scoreboard. Puck goes down the ice. Toth gathers it in, dumps it right back down the ice inside Indians territory. Puck in behind the net. Raiders trying to kill the penalty here. Chris Levine is out there. And the Indians control into the Massena zone. It's Herlihy. Herlihy ridden out of the play by Levine. Now Leduc after it in the corner. Must be Aaron got new skates. We'll talk about that when we get a chance. Now the puck goes back to the point. 10 seconds left in the man advantage. They go in the corner with it. Naylor trying to center it, but it's knocked away and dumped down the ice, and the Raiders have killed off another penalty. Real good job on special teams from Massena, and really the Indians didn't have much of a chance in that power play. But they have the puck right now out to center ice. Herlihy to the Massena line. Intercepted there. Raiders move it right back the other way. To the blue line, knocked away by the Indians. It bounces around at center ice. Picked up there by Catanzari, trying to cross the blue line. He's intercepted. The puck squirts free. Still in the zone. Now it's back out to center ice. Knocked back in. Ramo is upended. That's Aaron Ramo. And the puck bounces right along the blue line, picked up by the Indians to the Massena line. Chris Olsen turns it around, rips it in behind the net. And racing for it there is Hatch. Hatch gets tied up. Ramo battling for it there as Alberco is in there for Glens Falls. It squirts free to Andrew Foster. Foster to Ramo. Ramo moves it ahead to Catanzari. Here's Adam with the puck. He gets upended but gets the puck down the ice. And it goes in behind where it's picked up by defenseman Pasco for the Indians. They break it right out. Intercepted center ice. Michaud. Michaud stick handles, dumps it back in Glens Falls territory. They move it right back out again. Here's the puck, squirted away. It comes to Robbie Whitcup. Whitcup for Ramo. That's Ryan. Takes it across. Trying to barge his way through, but it's knocked off his stick by Edwards. Edwards behind the net. He and Ramo go together. Where's the puck? It squirts free to Michaud. Michaud in the circle. Drops it in behind the net for Ramo. Ramo's ridden hard into the boards by defenseman Edwards. There's a battle behind the net. Michaud, or I should say Ramo and Whitcup. Whitcup comes out of the fray with a puck. Circles in behind the net. Here's Whitcup trying to bounce pass to Michaud. It squirts free. There's going to be a penalty. And again, is it on Massena?
Yeah, he's going to call charging, I do believe, against Aaron Michaud. We'll wait and see. That was a debatable call, but Raiders back killing a penalty. Excellent job in that last one by those guys up front, Michaud and Whitcup, and along with Rupert and Chris Levine. But they're back at the task again, killing off another penalty.
No score in the hockey game. 8:39 left in the first period. 0-0 on the Snyder and Snyder Attorneys at Law scoreboard. Jerry Manor, Dave McClendon at the Glens Falls Civic Center. And we've got Rupert out there with Levine, Leduc, and Toth. Indians control the puck, but it's intercepted by Rupert, and he'll dump it on the backhand deep in Glens Falls territory. Back there's Gerard, flipping on the wing for Herlihy. Herlihy's headman pass out to the neutral zone. Levine throwing a check there. The puck kicked ahead. Should be an offsides. Yeah, there it is. As the puck came in after one of the Glens Falls Indians.
Chris Levine back out there killing a penalty. In my estimation, Jerry, he got the key goal last night when that second goal that tied it up just kind of brought the Raiders settled the ship after Saratoga had got that early goal in the second period.
Right, they had gotten a late goal in the first to tie it and an early goal in the second to go ahead before Levine scored. Puck dumped deep in the Massena zone. In behind the net it goes and around the boards. Naylor is there, trying to flip it on the 45. They go back to the point. Here's the fake shot, goes to the other 45, into the circle, back to the point. Here's the drive through traffic, deflected up into the stands. That shot taken by Tom Girard, who drops back to play the point for the power play. And we'll have another face-off. 8:01 left in the first period, no score. 52 seconds left in the man advantage on the Snyder & Snyder Attorneys at Law scoreboard.
The Indians using that umbrella power play. Girard taking the shot from right in the middle. Dusty never saw the puck, and it hit something, went up in the stands, but a good-looking power play by Glens Falls.
Ramo out there to take the face-off. Ryan Ramo. Glens Falls wins the draw. The shot is whiffed at, and Nick Toth picks it up, trying to flip it out of the zone. Comes to Aaron Ramo, and then he finds the hole, dumps it down center ice, trickles back to the neutral zone, where it's picked up there, and they move it ahead into Massena territory once again. Setting up their power play. Back to the point. Here's the shot, and Dusty got a piece of that one and knocked it up over the net. Again, that shot taken by Tom Girard.
Tom Girard playing the point, coming late as the Indians gained the zone, took it deep, and all the four red penalty killers out there drifted down low. They brought it back to Girard at the point, and he one-timed it, but Dusty got a piece of that one.
Ryan Ramo to take the face-off against Herlihy. Off the draw, Raiders win it, dump it down the ice. I think that was Aaron Ramo who did that. With about 23 seconds left in the man advantage. Puck in behind, and out to center ice it go. Well, no, it doesn't. They dump it back in the corner as the Indians having a little trouble getting started this time around. As Nick Brosha with it. Flips it ahead to the blue line. Hatch is there to knock it away, but it's intercepted, and right back comes Herlihy. Winds up. His shot, save made. Rebound, cleared along the boards, and Ramo picks it up and dumps it down the ice. That's going to go right on as a penalty as he lapsed, and the Raiders kill off another one.
And Dusty DeLeo probably 30 feet out of the net to make that last save, cut that angle down.
Here come the Raiders back the other way. Michaud, or I should say Levine upended, comes back to center ice. Hatch flips it across, and it hit Levine coming out, so offsides will be the call. 6:53 left in the first period. 0-0 tie on the Tom and Mark Snyder Attorneys at Law scoreboard.
Brian Herlihy down that left side with a head of steam, but Dusty way out of the ice to cut down that angle and take away any chance that Herlihy had to put it behind him.
Foster takes the faceoff, goes to the Indians line. They backhand it all the way down the ice into the Massena zone. Toth after it there. Takes it wide around the boards for Chris Levine. Levine goes back to Toth. He comes behind the net, circles, trying to move it ahead to Levine. Levine gathers it in, looks up ice. He's got some room, goes to Foster. Here's Foster, looking to Katanzreed on the right side, trying to go back to Foster, but it's knocked away. Puck comes bouncing free, still in the zone. Foster, here's Foster with it, centers it in front. Here's a chance, Levine backhander. Oh, and goaltender Vatuski makes his first save of the game on the backhand shot. Puck kept in at the point, trickles right in front of the net, but it's picked up by defenseman Edwards. Bounces it to center ice. Olsen is there for Massena to knock it back in the zone. Right back out, right back in it goes off the stick of Massena forward Andrew Foster. Now the Raiders making changes. Puck comes out to center ice, controlled by the Indians. And there's a battle right in front of the penalty box. And finally, it's dumped deep in Massena's zone, goes all the way around the boards, but an icing will be the call as it came from the wrong side of the red line.
Nick Vatuski coming up with his first save of the game, and it was a beauty. Chris Levine, a backhander, snapped it off from about 20 feet after taking the pass from Andrew Foster, and Vatuski got that right leg out there, got the toe on it. Nice save.
It was a nice save. Michaud out there to take the face-off. Michaud, Whitcup, and Ramo for Massena. It's going to be Bennett. Off the draw, here's a shot. Whitcup fired it wide. Leduc pinches in, pumps it back into the corner. Picked up there by Brosha. Brosha ridden off the boards, but he manages to move the puck ahead. Now the check thrown by Whitcup, and the puck bounces free. Ramo, he can't come up with it. And finally, it's dumped out to center ice, to the Massena line. Hatch throws a check there, trying to come up with a puck. There's checks and bodies flying all over. Finally, Hatch does. His headman looking for Ramo breaking. It's intercepted by Richardson. He dumps it back in the Massena zone. Aaron Leduc after it. He rips it around the boards for Ryan Ramo. Ramo's headman Whitcup had to hit him in the skate. Here's a chance for the Indians, but it's cleared by Leduc around the other boards. To the blue line, out to center ice. Bouncing puck, where is it? Up into, no, it's still in the Massena zone. And it's intercepted by Robbie Whitcup. Whitcup takes a whack at it. He can't come up with it, but Toth does. Backhand pass to Ramo. Ramo from the red line dumps it deep in Indians territories. We got some line changes. Puck cleared around the boards by goaltender Vatuski, and it's picked up by the Indians defense. They're going to dump it ahead to center ice. Here's Zach Dupree. His headman pass intercepted at the red line, and it trickles to the Massena blue line, and into the zone it goes. Brandon Hall after it. Hall trying to come up with it. He can't. The puck squirts free. They got a man in front. Here's the shot. Saved DeLille, and he holds on for the face-off off Tom Girard.
The intensity's picked up, the hitting's picked up, and probably the biggest hit so far, Brian Hatch with a fellow defenseman on the other side of the Paul Richardson. Got Richardson with his head down just outside the blue line and just flattened him.
Face-off will be in the Massena zone. No score on the Snyder and Snyder attorneys at law scoreboard. Hurley against Tubolino. Off the draw. Here's a shot knocked down. Tubolino has it poke checked away. Looked like he was going to break out of the zone, but he didn't. Hall throws a check in behind. The puck comes to Girard. Girard centers in front. Here's the shot. Big save by DeLille. Puck moved ahead and out to center ice. Dusty comes up with a big one right there. Trickles to the Glens Falls zone. They try to move it ahead, and it just goes across the Massena line. Brandon Hall after throws a check, can't come up with it. Here come the Indians. They got a man in front, but it deflects to the side of the net, and DeLille covers up and holds on for the face-off.
Oh, another big save by Dusty DeLille. He's on his game here in this first period. Brian Hurley parked right out in front, no one around him. The puck took a weird bounce behind the net, and Girard dug it out and threw it out to Hurley, and it was one-on-one, and Dusty outlasted him. Beautiful save.
Face-off will be in the Massena zone, and it's going to be to the left of goaltender Dusty DeLille this time. The Raiders will send the Foster line back out there. And it's Alberco for the Indians. Puck in behind the net. Hatch throws a check. The puck comes to Levine. Levine, headman to Foster. Here comes Foster. Across the red line. Tanzerit, he takes it across and dumps it in behind the net. After it there is Richardson. Richardson has it knocked away. Foster, Andrew, picking it up, looking to flip it in the corner. After it, Levine, that's Catanzari throwing a check. Now Levine throws one, comes away with a puck. He overskates. The puck bounces free, Catanzari, and it's knocked away. And another check thrown by Levine. Ouch, that one had to hurt. The puck just trickles out to center ice. Back to the Massena line, and across the blue line, they dump it in behind the net. After it, Hatch, poke checks it away, but it's intercepted there by Fleury. Fleury has it knocked away by Catanzari, bounces behind the net for Leduc. Leduc looking, he's got his man on the wing, Catanzari, who picks it up, starts to move it ahead. Foster going to Levine. Levine just deflects it in, and the Raiders want a line change. I'll tell you what, that line makes the opposition pay, doesn't it?
They sure do.
Here comes the puck across the blue line into the Massena zone, where Aaron Ramo picks it up and flips it ahead for Rupert. Rupert just banks it off the boards. Dumped to an open wing. It's intercepted back the other way. Here come the Indians into the Massena zone. In behind the net. And the bouncing puck comes to the side of the net. In behind again it goes. Now Olsen after it. Rupert lost his skate. Here comes a chance behind for the Indians. They look to center. It goes right across the goal mouth and back to the blue line. Kept in at the point. Flipped in the corner as the Indians starting to cycle a little bit. O'Brien centering in front. There's a bouncer. Cleared back toward the blue line and kept in at the point again. Here's a backhand shot that goes into the corner. After it is Olsen. He rips it along the boards. And we're going to have another penalty, I believe.
Nick Toth is going to get a cross-checking call as the Indians were just floating around through that crease area and just dominating play in the Massena end. And Captain Nick Toth is going to be called for a cross-check, and the Raiders going to have to kill off another penalty with 2:13 left in this first period, their third of the period. Jerry, you mentioned that line just a second ago, Foster, Catanzaric, and Levine, and they punish. When they get it inside, get it deep, they just punish the opposition. Catanzaric and Levine in that last shift probably threw 3 bone-crunching checks apiece out there, just punishing the defense of Glens Falls.
Whitcup will take the face-off against Hurley. Whitcup wins it to Michaud, who flips it out to center ice. Now the puck back to Girard. Flips it ahead to the Massena line. Across the blue line it goes. Poke checked away off Hurley's stick. Back to the point. They move it to the other side. That's Girard with it. His shot is blocked by Michaud. Goes into the corner. Really didn't get much on it. Now the puck controlled behind the net by the Indians as they move it around the horn to the 45. Here's the shot. It's blocked by Hatch. He says, where is it? Can't find it in his skates. And here's a centering pass. Goes right across the goal mouth. Puck back in the corner. Picked up by the Indians as they try to move it around the horn. Back to the point, out to center ice as Girard couldn't keep it in. In his defense, though, it wasn't a very good pass to the point. Now the puck dumped in the corner. About 45 seconds left in the man advantage. Brian Hatch with it. Turns it around the other way. Goes to Leduc. Leduc can't get it out of the zone. Back to the blue line. It's intercepted. Whitkup's going to have a breakaway. Robbie Whitcup. Whitcup breaks in. Beautiful play, though, by Tom Girard to poke check it away sprawling. And there's going to, what? They're going to call a penalty?
Yes, they are. The trailing referee called it, Jerry.
What do you think?
Well, he didn't have the best angle. The guy up front thought the puck, he touched the puck, and they're going to confer now. I can't change it. The trailing referee thought he didn't and called a penalty. Robbie Whitcup, who read the pass in his own end from D to D, stepped in and intercepted the pass, and it was a race between he and Tom Girard. And Girard left his feet, got the puck, it looked like, but upended, and they're going to call him now a slashing penalty. That's what it is. They're going to get off the hook on that. Initially, they would have had it a tripping penalty, but he's going to call it a slashing call.
In my opinion, that wasn't a penalty.
He got the puck, and if you get the puck and upend the player, it's supposed to be okay. So that's how they're getting out of it by, you can't take the penalty back. You had made the call. So
they're going to call it slashing.
He's going to call a slash. That's what it is. But Robbie Whitcup looked like he had but the legs just kind of.
I thought it was a great defensive play myself.
Well, it was a great defensive play.
It probably saved a goal.
Yes, Robbie would have been in free, but he made a great. Whitcup made a great read on the pass when O'Herlihy tried to bring it across to number 8, Girard, and Robbie read that, stepped in front of it up high in the blue line, and was off to the races. But Girard had just a little more gas in his tank.
Okay, 1:08 left in the first period. 25 seconds in the Massena penalty, and the Raiders, of course, with a full a minute and a half in the other penalty to Glens Falls. The Indians try to clear, they don't. Here's a shot, Paul's point. Ooh, just missed wide. And a goalie might have gotten a piece of it, and it's cleared out to center ice by the Indians. Brandon Hall back after it, comes up with it, circles. Here comes Hall. Head man to Ramo. Ramo steps by the check. He's upended. Oh, boy. Now, that was, to me, much more of a penalty than the other one was.
No question.
And here comes Ramo with it. His pass is intercepted and dumped into the Massena zone. Raiders are on the power play now. 34 seconds left in the period. Hatch. Nice move. Moves it ahead. Here comes Ramo. That's Aaron Ramo. Ramo skates it across the blue line, and then, or red line, I should say, and then dumps it right on. Vatuski has to make the save. 20 seconds left in the period, I should say. Foster with the puck. Flips it ahead for Nick Toth. Toth's got some room. 13 seconds. Winds up. His shot went off a leg. Into the corner. 9 seconds left. It's picked up there by the defenseman Edwards. Off the boards to the blue line. Here's a shot from the point. Knocked away. 2-1. That'll take care of the period. And so we go in. And they have won the state championship in Division II a couple of years ago. In fact, there's a sign as you come into the city, home of the Glens Falls Indians, New York State Division II state champions, whenever that was. Don't remember the year. 93. Okay. Just a font of information, Coach. Here come the Raiders. Aaron Michaud out of his own zone. Headman pass right on the stick of Ramo. Ramo stops, has it poked away, and down the ice it goes. A little too nonchalant that time, and the Indian defenseman just came and took the puck away. Penalties elapsed, so we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Ryan Ramo picking it up, dumping to an open wing, neutral zone. Right back in the Massena zone it goes. And Nick Toth in to pick it up. Captain Nick Toth behind his own net, looks for his wings. Ramo couldn't get it out of the zone. Here's a shot from long range, save made Dusty DeLille. One of the easier ones he's had to make this evening out there this afternoon. And the Raiders ice the puck, and back it'll go into their zone for the faceoff. 14-11 left as we're underway in the second period. And on the Tom Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard, it's still 0-0.
Raiders in their traveling dark red uniforms with the blue and white trim. The Indians in their home white trimmed with black and white helmets, red pants, and white, black, and red stockings.
Alberico out there with Young and Fleury. And it's going to be, let's see here, we'll pick it up. Massena's, it's the Bruise brothers. And here they come. Levine gets upended, but takes it across to Foster, to Dupree, or Dupree's out there because Foster was on the power play. So we've got 2/3 of the Bruise brothers, but I'll tell you, Dupree's been known to throw a check now and again too. The puck out to the neutral zone. Here come the Indians. They just dump it deep into the Massena zone. In behind the net it goes. Hall with it. Flipping it around, has it knocked away into the corner. Controlled by the Indians, back to the point. Oh, they tried the shot and he fell down, the defenseman. Not sure what happened to him. Here comes Massena's Levine barging down the left wing side. Centering pass right down the middle, but is blocked away. Zach Dupree after it. He can't come up with it. And it goes to Fleury. Dumps it out to center ice, right back in the Glens Falls zone. Picked up by Fleury one more time. He'll dump it deep in Massena territory. Goes into the corner. Hall picks it up, just flips it by the defenseman. Moving it ahead is Levine. Levine to Dupree. Poke checked away from him, back to the Massena line. Hall gathers it in again, steps across the red line. Here's Hall, nice headman pass to Zach Dupree. Dupree just backhands it, he wants off, and it goes deep in Glens Falls territory. Elliot Edwards with it. Edwards, step by a check. Here's Edwards, headman pass, goes off a leg to the Massena line. Nick Toth is there. Here's Toth, headman pass, deflected at the blue line. It crosses into the zone. There's a pileup of players. It squirts free to Pasco, the defenseman, to the blue line. Doesn't clear the zone. Kept in there, Rupert. Rupert trying to slide it ahead to Ramo. That's Aaron Ramo, but the puck knocked away. Now it's stolen by Menkes. He barges his way behind the net, feeds it to Ramo. Ramo trying to return the favor, but it's knocked away and picked up on the wing by Pat O'Brien out to center ice. Into the Massena zone it goes. In behind the net, racing for it there is Wiley for Glens Falls. He flips it around the boards, manages to get it to Bennett, who dumps it again behind the Massena net for Wiley. Wiley, centering pass right across the goal mouth, goes way back to the blue line. Menkes does a nice job just to tip it out to center ice and takes a check for his efforts. Indians again to the Massena line. They dump it deep, and it's Hatch picking it up behind the net. He gets hammered from behind, and the puck goes into the sideboards. It's underneath Hatch. He gets back up again. Barges his way, can't come up with it. There's a battle behind. Rupert helping out, and it's knocked away. And finally, it comes back to the circle, knocked in behind the net again, where Nick Toth comes after it. Here's Toth. Over on the other side. Raiders look to move it ahead. Hatch to the center ice area. Knocked away there. Trying to sneak his way through is Menkes, but he lost his stick. Now the puck dumped on the backhand, back inside Glens Falls territory. Raiders making a line change. Indians control the puck to center ice and down the ice, and that's got to go for icing right there. Whistle will blow, and we'll have a face-off. Aaron Leduc didn't really try too hard to get it, but icing will be the call.
Thomas Menkes got that big goal last night. Great second effort goal, the GWG goal, the game-winning goal. Again, as you called down there just a second ago, great defensive effort in his own end as the puck came around the boards. The defenseman pinching down on him, he just tipped the puck by the defenseman to clear the zone and paid the price because the guy flattened him.
Okay, we've got Whitcup out there to face off against Herlihy in the Glens Falls zone after the icing. Right side off the door. Whitcup wins a shot right on. Michaud. Beautiful face-off by Whitcup right to Michaud. Top of the circle. He just cranked one, but again, right at goaltender Vatuski.
Robbie Whitcup on the back end won it cleanly right to Aaron Michaud.
He does it again. Michaud skates it and lost it off the end of his stick. This time it goes out to center ice. Another nice face-off win for Michaud, or for Whitcup, I should say. Raiders, did they clear the zone? Apparently they did. The puck deep. Robbie Whitcup doing some forechecking, but it comes to the blue line, not out of the zone. Now it's dumped out to center ice. They got a man breaking. That's Naylor. Naylor takes it across. His shot save made, and Dusty holds on for the face-off.
Jerry, you mentioned in the pregame about Aaron Leduc's skates. You might want to follow up on that.
Yes, apparently he had a problem with the skates last night and borrowed some at the rink. Now, I guess he managed to find somebody who had skates the right size, but they just didn't work for him. So we didn't see him much in that game last night.
That's like trying to swim with a lead weight around your belly, borrowing someone else's skates.
Well, it did not work for him, but apparently he's got a new pair because he's out there today. Off the face-off, Toth. We've got the Bruce brothers out there, the Andrew Foster line, and here they come. Catanzarite, he'll dump from the red line, deep. Oh boy, they're gonna call that icing? I mean, what was it, an inch over the red line?
Just about, and normally they forgive that, but young officials are gonna get that. Aaron Leduc mentioned him. He got an assist on one of the goals last night, and we talked about it yesterday. He never saw because he had been flattened. He just ran the puck up the dasher, got creamed, and a big roar from the crowd, but he did pick up an assist.
As Massena came down the other way and scored. Off the face-off, Raiders win the draw on their own end. Toth with it. Toth lost it off the end of his stick, has to come back after it. Trying to flip it ahead, doesn't have any success, but Hall comes up with it. He'll skate behind his own net. Whoa, he lost it right in front, but Toth is there to move it ahead. Foster out to center ice, jumps over Catanzarite's stick, right back in the Massena zone it goes. In is Naylor. Flipped around, comes free to Gerard. Gerard has it taken away by Foster. Foster skates by the check. There's Foster to Levine. Levine just lets it go by into the zone. After it, Catanzari throws a check, and Levine will pick up the puck. Here's Chris Levine. Nice Catanzari. Catanzari circles. Wraparound attempt. Shot doesn't get through. Comes to Levine in the corner. He sticks it in behind the net. But back there will be Brian Herlihy. Herlihy dumps it. They got a man breaking, and that is Gerard. Gerard, but Massena gets back. Gerard trying to flip it through to the blue line, not out of the zone, bounces in front. Here's Chris, the puck stolen away, as Olsen had a problem with it. Now he flips it along the boards to the blue line and out to center ice. Here's Ramo with it, knocked away from him. Following up is Levine, who wants off, and he dumps it deep as the Raiders get their full line change out there. Still 0-0 on the Tom Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Puck inside the Glens Falls zone. They just dump it down the ice. That's going to be icing against the Indians, and the faceoff will move back inside Glens Falls territory. Indians haven't had as much success this period.
No, they haven't, but Raider defense has to be leery. What Glens Falls, when they have the puck in their own end and gain solid possession, the weak side wing sneaks out and gets in behind the defense, and they just, on the strong side, run the puck hard up off the dasher, hoping to get by the defenseman, who is that forward's in behind Massena defense.
Rupert wins the draw to Hall. Hall trying to pass it back to the other point. It's knocked away and trickles out to center ice. Hall dumps it right back in the zone. Doesn't clear. Here's Ramo with it. He gets railed. Puck bounces free to the blue line, out to center ice. Hall gathers it, drops it over on the other side to Leduc, who dumps it deep. In behind the net. What do we got? Another offsides?
Delayed offside.
Yeah, they didn't quite clear the zone, apparently.
We're down to 9:10 left in the second period. A scoreless hockey game. The Glens Falls Indians, good-looking club, Jerry.
Yeah,
they moved
nice.
the puck
Nice
well, and we've heard a lot about Vituski, but the Raiders haven't tested him often.
Face-off just outside the zone after the offsides. Puck sits along the blue line, and the Indians break out of there. That's the defenseman, Brosha. Makes the move. Hall poke checks it into the corner. Brosha chases in after it, but Hall takes him out of the play, and Rupert picks up the puck. Rides it around the dasher to Ramo. He can't get it out of the zone. Now he does. Blocks the shot. Ramo gets upended, and the puck's dumped right back in the Massena zone. In behind the net, Aaron Leduc. He'll round it again for Ramo. Ramo, nice headman pass out to center ice. Mankeys. Thomas Mankeys trying to barge his way through. He's ridden into the boards. He gets back up again, but coming back to pick it up is Richardson. Stolen away, bouncing into the corner again. Leduc pinches way in, tries the center, gets a shot right on, and Vituski makes the save and holds on for the face-off.
Aaron Leduc pinching down from that right defensive spot, actually way down to the hash marks on that right side, picked up the puck and took a couple of strides, and from a pretty extreme angle got a shot right on Vituski. But the Raiders, when that defenseman pinches down, they know the forward fills, and they had the spot covered.
Okay, we've got Whitkup's line back out. Michaud will take the face-off against Bennett. Left side in the zone. Michaud wins the draw, the shot by Whitcup, and the save is made by Vituski. Back to the point. Hatch, can he keep it in? There's a battle right along the blue line. Whitkup's in there, Hatch is in there, and where is it? It's still across. Is it out to center ice? Whitcup picks it up. Lost it off the end of his stick. It's knocked down, and here comes Glens Falls. 2-on-2. The shot is blocked by the Massena defenseman. Who is that? Nick Toth, of course, does a great job. And the net's knocked off its mooring. Is coming in as Ryan Bennett. And so the whistle will blow.
Movie fans, you have to be an old movie fan. Pat O'Brien, that name rings a bell. You know, Bells of St. Mary's, etc.
Yeah.
Well, they've got a Pat O'Brien out here for the Glens Falls Indians, and he just leveled Robbie Whitcup on that last rush. And I'm looking down, O'Brien.
I think they got him listed as penalty.
I don't know.
They got the penalty door open. I can't believe that one.
I can't comment because I didn't see it. Looks like Michaud is coming to the box. I didn't see what the, we'll wait and see what the call is, but Raiders picking up their fourth penalty of the game.
I don't know.
Glens Falls only one. Captain Nick Toth is questioning. He's, but again, that's not going to do him any good. Here comes the call.
Interference was the call. Off the face-off. Raiders poke it to center ice, and it's dumped down the ice by Massena. We've got Rupert out there to kill it, along with Robbie Whitcup. Whitcup comes up with a puck. Takes a check. What's that? That might be a charge?
Charge, high sticking, elbowing, any one of those three you could have called. Did he make a call? No.
No, of course not.
No, man, young Mr. Rupert just got railed by that big defenseman who was charging. He got the stick up, he elbowing. I could have got about 3 violations on that. And Robbie Whitcup is questioning that call right now, but again.
So the faceoff will go to the left side. It'll be Herlihy against Whitcup. Massena killing another penalty. Off the draw, the puck in the circle. Rupert takes a whack at it, Whitcup, and it goes in the corner. The Indians pick it up, move it around, and finally dump it down the ice. And that I don't think will go far enough for icing. Toth will come back after it, turn it around and shovel it back down the ice. I don't know how he found the hole there. There wasn't much hole to shoot at, but he found it, and all the way down the ice it goes. 55 seconds left in the man advantage. Puck still in the zone. Whitcup trying to center it to Rupert. Here's Derek Rupert, makes a nice move behind the net, centering pass right back out, but Herlihy is there. Flips it ahead to center ice, and the Indians move it down ice. Rupert throws a check. The puck goes deep in Massena territory, kind of rode the puck boards and around into the corner. After it, there's Brosha. He'll flip it around behind the net. Rupert looking for it. Rupert comes up with it, takes it behind the net, now just looks to tie it. The puck in the corner still. Is it free? It's free. And the Indians try to control it. They go back to the point with it. Took a funny bounce, stays in the corner. Now it goes back to the point. And back into the center. They move it around the horn. Sharp angle shot goes behind the net. Indians still control. 9 seconds left in the man advantage. Into the circle. Back to the point. Here's a shot through traffic. DeLille's got it in the glove and holds on for the face-off.
Dusty DeLille coming up big, and Nick Toth just leveled one of the Indian players after the fact, who was digging. The whistle had blown, and Nick took exception to that, and I think that's number 18 out there, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they're going to call them both.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
This time they're going to call them both. It's a pretty good thing they did.
Well, Alberco was, he started it. He was at, no, was that 18 or 16, Jerry?
16.
Oh, 16, excuse me. That's Naylor.
Yeah.
John Naylor. But Dusty DeLille, big save through some traffic. But that penalty kill unit of up front again, Robbie Whitcup and Derek Rupert doing an excellent job.
Now we've got face-off. Where's it going to be? It's going to be in the Massena zone to the right with 4 seconds left in the man advantage. Still no score. 0-0. And big draw, Jerry. Even though there's 4 seconds, if they gain possession and can work it around. It'd be too late for Misha to get back into the play. So Massena wants to get the puck out of the zone.
Coaching staff questioning the face-off location again. Derek Rupert, the messenger. But again, you might as well be talking to the wall, talking to these officials there.
Herlihy will take the face-off against, who's that? Zach Dupree from Massena? No, that's Catanzari. He wins the draw. Leduc flips it out to center ice. Here comes Ramo, or I should say Michaud. He's got a partial break. He gets hauled down from behind. Oh, boy. And there's no call on that. The puck comes to Levine in the corner. Levine trying to center. Michaud shot right across the goal mouth. The puck along the boards to the blue line, kept in at the point by Leduc. Here's Leduc dumping it in the corner for Levine. Levine takes it behind. Whoops, he lost it. Now he's got it. He says, where is it? Center right in front. Here's a chance for Michaud. Michaud in front. And Catanzari fanned on the pass. Nice pass from Michaud. Catanzari couldn't put it in. Now the puck bounces in the corner. Aaron Michaud with it. Flips it for Catanzari. Catanzari goes down, but the puck squirts free. And the Indians move it out to center ice. Leduc with it. Flips it back inside Glens Falls territory. In behind the net, the Indians pick it up. Around the boards it goes to the blue line. Not out of the zone. Hatch keeps it in. Now it trickles out to center ice. They got a man breaking into the Massena zone. That's Gerard. His shot. Dusty makes a save. Gives up the big rebound. Clears it into the corner. He tried to clear it and hit his own guy, but the puck's out to center ice. That could have been disastrous.
Dusty's got to work on his stick skills, I'll tell you.
Puck in the corner now. Leduc gets nailed, falls down. The puck comes free to Whitcup. Whitcup flips it back to Leduc in behind the net. Knocked away by the Glens Falls player who loses his stick. Where's the puck? Still in the zone. In behind the net, they center it, but Hatch is there to break it to the blue line. We have a whistle. What do we got now?
Got another penalty. I've got to believe it's going Glens Falls. No, I think they're each going to
Somebody might have left the box too early. I don't know. Well,
the gate is open down on the Glens Falls side. We'll wait and see. I'll tell you, the best scoring opportunity, Adam
Oh,
Katanzrik
boy.
just a second ago, that was set up again by some good forechecking by Michaud and Katanzrik threw some tremendous checks out there and forced Glens Falls to cough it up, and Adam all alone in front and couldn't beat Vatuski.
I'm not sure what the stoppage was for.
Well, the gate was closed, both of them, so there's no penalties, I guess.
Off the face-off. Raiders clear it out to center ice, dump back in the zone. No, it didn't get back in the zone. Here comes Aaron Ramo. He can't come up with it. The Indians do. Try to move it ahead. Goes to Brosha. Brosha into the Massena. No, it didn't make it in the zone. Picked up by Ramo. Ramo's headman pass on the stick of Rupert. Derek lost it, gets it back again. He gets hauled down. The puck bounces free to the blue line. Hatch, did he keep it in? Nope, he didn't. Puck trickles down into the Massena zone. Nick Toth after it. Toth steps by the check, lost it, gets it back again. Again, the Indian player lost his stick. Puck kept in the zone, though. Raiders had a chance to clear and didn't. Kept in by Brosha. Centering pass goes right across the goal mouth. Comes to Herlihy. Herlihy, his pass intercepted. Raiders try to clear. They don't clear again. Finally, it comes to Rupert, and he moves it to the blue line, not out of the zone. Puck back in the corner. Toth with it. Throws a check. The puck bounces free. He'll flip it to Rupert. And Rupert will move it ahead. Bang it down the ice. I think that's going to be icing. You got a delay penalty on Glens Falls. And finally it goes down the ice, the icing call. And an interference call on the Indians. I'm not sure the Raiders realized that.
Well, John Naylor just flattened. It was Derek Rupert right in front of the Messina goal. The play had gone the other way. Rupert had dumped the puck to clear the zone, and Naylor, the last guy out of the zone, just flattened Derek Rupert, and is going to get interference, or he could got him from hitting from behind, whatever. But Raiders will go on a power play.
4 minutes even left in the second period. It's been a period played in stops and starts. It's not been a smooth period, to say the least. And wasn't that an icing call? Maybe not.
One thing, it's been a little more even on the territorial play, Jerry, this period.
Yes, it has. They picked up 2 penalties, so Raiders will go on a 2-man advantage. Naylor picking up a penalty. Also picking up a penalty was Brosha.
Maybe unsportsmanlike conduct. We'll wait and see.
Wow.
Here comes the call.
Naylor for, I would guess, interference. Off the face-off, Raiders. Michaud. Or no, that's Hatch with it. Hatch takes it, dumps it. Massena's got a 2-man advantage. You don't want to dump it.
No.
But they control it anyway. Here comes Whitcup with it. Back to the point to Ramo. Ramo, Hatch. Hatch dumps it in the corner. In behind the net. And the puck bounces free. In front, Whitcup. He's got the shot right on in the net! Robbie Whitcup, as goaltender Vatuski looked the wrong way, and it went off him into the net, and the Raiders pick up a power play goal to go up 1-0.
Puck in behind the net. Robbie Whitcup swooped in behind and worked his way out on that left side, and Vatuski thought he was going to pass it across the crease area. No one was open, so Robbie just flicked it towards the net from about 15 feet out, and real soft goal. Went right between the wickets, through the 5-hole, and the Raiders on the board and still have...
a minute 4 left in the second penalty. So the Raiders pick up another power play goal here and take the 1-0 lead on the Tom Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard.
Naylor's penalty was hit from behind, Jerry. That's the one I saw. And the other was an interference call, the first one. And Naylor, that definitely was a... so the Raiders have made the Indians pay.
Pick up a power play goal off the face-off. Puck dumped deep in the Massena zone. Bounces in behind the net. Picked up by the Raiders. Toth. Toth has it knocked away. Gets it back again. Flips it to Foster. Foster trying to go to Ramo. It's poke checked away by Herlihy. Toth again. Will flip it to Ramo. Ramo starts out. Ryan Ramo with it. He'll dump it. Deep inside. Picked up behind the net by the defenseman. Around the boards it goes. They try to get a guy breaking. They almost did. But it's still in the zone. Now it's stolen away and dumped out to center ice. Ryan Ramo back after it. He's got Herlihy on him, but we'll flip it ahead. Whitcup knocked away. Back into the Massena zone it goes. In behind the net as Nick Toth knocks Gerard off the puck. Puck squirts free to Foster. Foster drops it in behind for Toth. Second part of the power play hasn't gone quite as well as the Raiders start to move it out of the zone. Here's Ramo with it. Foster has it knocked away. Trickles into the Massena zone. Picked up by Toth. He'll move it. And we're down to 2:30 left. Raiders up 1-0 on the Tom Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Puck along the boards as they battle for it there. Foster trying to come up with it. He can't. Puck flipped out. They got a man breaking. Here comes Naylor. Naylor busts in his shot. And no, he hit the post. Puck comes back. Dusty's lost his stick. Here's another shot. He makes the save. Puck goes into the corner.
Oh, they got a call, goaltender interference right there. And they're not...
They got him right across the throat as he went right across the goal mouth, and Dusty DeLille is down.
Tom Girard just went through the crease and just whaled the Massena goaltender. After the Raiders had dodged the bullet at one of those five-man changes, they all left the ice, and Glens Falls had the puck, passed it up to the wide-open guy, walked right in and hit the crossbar,
And that was Girard. He's their trigger man. I can't believe they didn't call a penalty on that.
Unreal.
The guy came right across the crease and gave Dusty DeLille a shot in the head or in the throat, and no call.
It had to be goaltender interference at the least.
Ryan Bennett takes a face-off back to the point. Indians control. Centering pass knocked away. Comes to the blue line, Levine. Chris Levine has it knocked away. Comes to Zach Dupree. He can't control it and bounces around at the red line. Finally, it's picked up there by O'Brien. Dumps it deep in Massena territory. Around the boards it goes. And there's a big pileup of players in the corner. Puck squirts free. Levine flips it ahead to the blue line. Nice poke check out to center ice. Chris Levine had three guys on him and still managed to get the puck out of the zone. Trickles back to the Massena line. Aaron Leduc with it. Flips it ahead for Levine. He lost it off his glove. Dumped back inside Massena territory. In behind the net. Brandon Hall with it. Kicks it around the boards for Leduc. Leduc, headman pass, doesn't quite clear the zone. Dumped into the corner again. Levine after it. Can't come up with it. Trickles right on. Actually, it went off Leduc's stick and trickled right on DeLille, but he makes the save and holds on. With 1:13 left in the second period, and the Raiders leading 1-0 on the Tom Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard.
And that one goal coming at the 11:26 mark. Captain Robbie Whitcup, his 8th of the year. Power play goal. Aaron Michaud and Andrew Foster picking up the assist.
1:13 left in the second period. Coming out to take the face-off will be Alberico, along with Young and Fleury. Massena's got the Rupert line out there. Face-off right side of DeLille. Off the face-off, back to the point it goes. That's Richardson trying to slide it through. It pokes free, and Thomas Mankies will come up with it, or try to come up with it. He's checked. The puck squirts across the blue line. And where is it? Rupert. Rupert has his stick tied up. Trying to come up with it. He can't. And it's finally picked up there by Young. Flips ahead to the Massena line. Check thrown there. Raiders. Ramo picking it up, flipping ahead for Whitcup, who's back out there. Whitcup ahead to Rupert, knocked away. Dump back in Massena territory. DeLille makes the save. He'll leave it for Brian Hatch. 40 seconds left in the period. Puck comes to Whitcup on a nice pass from Ramo. Whitcup, headman. Rupert can't find it. He gets knocked off the puck. Whitcup stays with it. Robbie in the corner after it, throws a check. The bouncing puck comes free. Digging for it, there's Ramo. Back to Whitcup. Whitcup trying to center. It goes back to Hatch at the point. Hatch gets a shot deflected right on. Save made. In front of the net, Vituski comes up with a save. A nice low shot by Hatch. Didn't have a lot on it. Didn't have a lot of time to shoot, but he got it right on net. 19 seconds left. Still 1-0 Massena.
Thomas Menkees went to the bench, Jerry, in a lot of pain. He's in some discomfort over there. He got taken into the boards right down to our right and seemed to be favoring his leg.
Face-off will be in Glens Falls territory. Herlihy against Whitcup. Off the draw, Michaud gets a shot right on, save made. I tell you, the Raiders been good on face-offs.
Yes, they have, especially that Robbie Whitcup line. They just have been winning them clean, and Aaron Michaud's had a couple of good shots off the draw.
Off the face-off, the puck bounces back to the blue line. Here comes Glens Falls. Naylor with it, takes it wide. 10 seconds left in the period, has it knocked away, and it's poked out to center ice. Great play by Nick Toth. Puck with 5 seconds left. Goes to the Massena line. At the blue line, Michaud knocks it down, knocks it up. Into the zone. Off the draw, Ramo. Ramo takes it in on the off wing. Ramo gets by his check. Here's Ramo in front, and it's sticked in behind by the goalie, Wituski. Puck in the corner. Whitcup throws a check, but it squirts away in behind the net. Ramo and Whitcup converge, but it again gets away, and Richardson moves it ahead, not out of the zone, kept in by Michaud. Raiders putting a little forechecking on. The puck bounces in front. Whitcup can't get a shot. It goes to Michaud. His shot right on. Save made. That almost snuck by, and it's finally poked out to center ice. The Raiders dump it right back in and clear the zone. Here come the Indians, moving it to the neutral zone. Glens Falls back the other way. Stolen away by Toth. He pokes it free. And it's going to be dumped deep as both teams are going to make line changes here. Aaron Michaud back after it. Trying to flip it down the wing, has it poked away. Oh, that's Hall. Hall rips it around on the other side, but pinching in and keeping it in, the Indians to the blue line. Here's a shot across traffic, nobody home, and the puck comes along the boards. Hall flips it ahead to Foster. Here's Foster to Levine. Chris Levine back to Foster. Winds up the shot right on. Save made by Watuski. Foster follows up. Takes it in behind the net. There's a battle for it. In behind. Defenseman Pasco and Foster back to the point. Leduc shot in the net! Aaron Leduc from the point, and the Raiders take a 2-0 lead.
Aaron Leduc, a 55-footer, clear as a bell, no traffic whatsoever, and goaltender Nick Watuski, who was highly touted by the Indian coaching staff, again, just misplayed that long shot, and the Raiders up 2-0, and Aaron Leduc is going to pick up his, let's see here, his first goal of the year.
Wow, great shot from the left point. Aaron Leduc low to the ice and right through the goalie, and the Raiders have taken a 2-0 lead here early in the third period.
That was the third shot of that sequence. Massena coming out firing here in this third period.
Definitely a jump in their step. Foster off the faceoff. Raiders control on the points. It's Leduc.
Must be the skates.
Is that what it is? The new skates for Leduc? He flips it out to center ice. And here comes Catanzarite after it. He can't come up with it. Tries to stay with it, but it's poked out to the neutral zone again. Right back to the red line and dumped across into Massena territory. Leduc is back after it. Takes it behind the net. Trying to flip it free. Comes up with it somehow. Headman, Levine. Levine to Foster. A little bit too far. Oh, he just got sandwiched. And there's going to be a penalty as Foster just got blindsided.
He certainly did. And that's number 21. Pat O'Brien, who just, they're going to get an interference call, but he just nailed the Raider player. And
you could have called a high stick, an elbow, hit him right in the head.
And Captain Chris Levine went over and just a few niceties to O'Brien. And boy, oh boy, that was kind of a blindsided, a cheap shot. And Andrew Foster is, he's a big youngster. He's no, he goes about 180 pounds, but he went down hard.
Yep, that's Pat O'Brien getting the gate. What do they call it for? Interference.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah,
it was an interference call, but he hit him pretty hard. Just prior to that previous shift, I think Ryan Ramo went off injured too, Jerry.
Off the faceoff, Nick Toth with it. He flips it ahead, intercepted. Right back into the zone comes Herlihy. His shot, save made, rebound. In behind it goes. Nick Toth picks it up. So Herlihy comes in and gets the shot, but the save is made. Here comes Toth. From the red line, he'll dump it. Massena on the power play here. And the puck goes around the boards to Ramo. He flips it back for Levine behind the net. Knocked away and down the ice.
Good to see Ryan Ramo back out there.
Dusty comes out of his net to play it behind. He had a man forechecking. He almost caught him. But Ramo flips it ahead for Michaud. Michaud. Headman pass for Ramo. Takes it off the boards. Takes it in the zone. Gets by. No, he didn't quite make it by the check, but the puck did. And Levine flips it in behind the net. Puck ripped around the boards. It'll ride the puck board out to center ice. 40 seconds left in the man advantage. Toth with it. Flips it ahead for Ramo. Lost it off the end of his stick. Whitcup follows. Here's Robbie Whitcup. Takes it right down into the corner. Drop pass. Nobody there for Massena. And I think there is just a little bit of a, they just lost their bearings or something. Miscommunication. Would that be the key word?
That's a key word.
And the puck back in Massena zone. 18 seconds left in the man advantage. Raiders up by 2 now. Comes to Whitcup, and he breaks to Levine. Levine to Whitcup. He's checked out of the play. The puck squirts free. Brian Hatch after it. Hatch just backhands it high inside the Glens Falls territory. Puck along the boards. Penalties elapsed. Raiders did nothing on that power play. But the Indians try to break back. It's intercepted. Right back into the zone it comes. Here's Aaron Ramo. He gets knocked down. The puck bounces free out to the neutral zone off a couple of legs. Knocked away to the red line, picked up there, and finally dumped to the Massena line, right back to the Glens Falls line. Rupert in there throwing a check. The puck bounces free. Rupert trying to come up with it, got a stick on it. So did the Glens Falls player, goes high in the air, goes to the Glens Falls line. Finally, the Indians will dump it, and inside Massena territory it goes. Leduc steps by the check, flips it ahead. Rupert throws a check. Here's a shot right on. DeLille has to make the save. Not a hard shot. The puck comes back into the corner. They move it to the slot. Shot is blocked by Rupert. Out to center ice it goes. Derek Rupert to the red line. He'll dump as he wants off. And the Raiders will make a line change. Here's Levine in the corner after it has it knocked away. Foster now. Good to see him back out there. He can't keep it in the zone, though. Bounces to the red line. Picked up there by Hall. Just flips it along the boards. Trickles inside Glens Falls territory. There's a Glens Falls injured player on the ice. I was wondering when they were going to blow the whistle.
Can't pick up his number, but he's the guy who took a run at Andrew Foster just a second ago, and I think he might have impaled himself on the boards with his own stick, I do believe, but we'll wait and see. That second goal, Jerry, coming at the 1:16 mark. Aaron LeDuc, his first of the year. Andrew Foster picking up the assist. Put the Raiders up 2-0.
It's a wrist injury, so he probably went in.
Yeah, he tried to take a run at Andrew Foster along the boards, and I think Andrew just kind of sidestepped him. And can you pick up his number? Is it number 4?
4 or 14. I'm going to say it's probably Bennett, number 14, because I don't see a 4 out there, or is there a 4?
He's down on the ice on the far side, and one of the digits on there is a 4, but
I think it is 14. He gets up slow. Yeah, it is. That's Bennett, Ryan Bennett. But yeah, he went in to check Andrew Foster, and Andrew kind of sidestepped him. He went hard into the boards, wrist first, and he's holding it. He's hurting.
I tell you, both clubs throwing some thundering checks out there. This game, you want to keep your head up and be looking at all times. There's been some real vicious hits out there, and some of them most of them been clean too. But you just want to keep the head up.
2-0 Massena leads on the Corky's Collision scoreboard with 10:33 left in the third period. Foster's line out there. Foster, Levine, and Catanzarite. And Adam will take the faceoff left side in the Glens Falls zone. Off the draw. The puck goes into the corner. Picked up by the Indians. They bank it off the boards. Not out of the zone. Out. Kicks out to center ice. Nick Toth is there to backhand it right back in Indians territory. Back after it. The Indians stolen by Catanzarite behind the net, has it poked away, goes after it in the corners, trying to stay with it. Now Foster in there throwing a check, comes to Catanzarite, back to Foster. Foster in front, it goes to Levine, backhander across the goal mouth. Nobody there, and the Indians clear it out to center ice. Toth is there to flip it ahead. Raiders have to get on sides, though they do, but the puck is cleared along the blue line and out to center ice. Andrew Foster dumps it back in the zone, right on. The save is made by Vatuski, and he leaves it in behind for his defenseman. Puck out to center ice. Here comes Gerard. His headman pass poke checked away. Raiders get caught inside, though. They have to wait. Now the puck back to the Massena line where Brian Hatch picks it up. He'll pass it over on the other side. Comes to Ryan Ramo. Ramo back to the point. Knocked away, and back into the Massena zone it goes. Hatch after it. Here's Hatch. Oh, he just got nailed from behind. The puck squirts free. The whistle blows, and there's a little extracurricular, and I think they're going to call them both, Hatch and John Naylor. Naylor's been in the box a lot this afternoon as the tempers have started to get a little bit high here.
Naylor took a run at Brian Hatch. Naylor from behind, and Brian retaliated. They both will get the...
No, they're going to call a penalty on Gerard. I didn't see it.
Just Jerry, a report on Thomas Menkes. It's his kneecap, and he's going for X-rays after the game. It's quite painful. We'll wait and see.
Oh.
Now there goes 16 into the box.
Okay, I thought so. You know, that's the matching penalties. He got Hatch from behind, rode him into the boards from behind, and Hatch retaliated a bit. But I didn't see Gerard's penalty.
I think that was after the fact, after the whistle blew.
Melee?
Yeah, he just got a little aggressive. And so the Raiders will have a power play when this all shakes out here, a minute and 30, because 2 Indian players in the sin bin and just 1 Brian Hatch.
And I think this will be a 5-on-4 power play because they all occurred at the same time. So 9:29 left in the third period. And on the Corky's Collision scoreboard, Raiders have a 2-0 lead. Now the officials explaining things to the captains.
2-0 in a hard-played game, a hard-hitting game. Both clubs impressive out there today. The Raiders got off to a slow start, but Dusty DeLille held them in that first period till they could right the ship, and they've come on stronger as the game has progressed.
Now they still haven't put the there they go. Yeah, they got the penalty up there now, just the 1 minute 30-second penalty up there. So the Raiders go on the power play here.
And they're questioning now where the face-off is going to be.
Face-off location. And it's going to be outside the zone, apparently. Well, that's where he's standing anyway.
I don't know what the delay is, but both teams at the benches. Coach Ed Latham questioning one of the officials. Here
lobbying for something.
Yeah, but yes,
he got the better part of that one.
Yeah, the face-offs, and again, I don't know why, because the face-offs outside the blue line, which
shouldn't it be? Well, I don't know.
He should be not pleading his case, saying be thankful that it's out there.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, Raiders on the power play. Whitcup, Foster, and Michaud. Toth and Ramo at the points. Herlihy out to take the face-off. Off the draw. Raiders win it. Back to Toth. Toth goes to Ramo. Ryan takes it down the left sideboards into the zone and dumps it. It's going to go right in front of the net. And we got another penalty. And I think Glens Falls is going to pick up another penalty for interference.
Interference call, and this took a run at Ryan Ramo and just drilled him. Now, Ryan's got to get out of there. He's yapping over there. We got a penalty, and Andrew Foster, heads up move, just grabs him and just directs him towards the Massena bench. Hey, we're going to have a two-man advantage. Don't go and get a
penalty.
Don't get a penalty here, but Glens Falls, is that 28?
Yeah, that's who it is, all right. That's the defenseman, Nate Brosha.
Talk about little partisanship. The guy down in the penalty box down there that's running the door, he's yelling at the officials. That's a little too much when you have the minor officials taking in, being a little biased like that.
Raiders on the power play. Whitcup wins the faceoff. Oh, back to the point. The Raider defenseman fell down. Now there's a foot race for it. O'Herlihy coming in. It trickles in on net. And I think probably Toth will get a penalty.
I didn't see any. No, just a great job by Captain Nick Toth. I don't know. Threw it back to the point, and the defenseman on that side fell down, and it was a clear breakaway out of nowhere.
He came out of nowhere,
and Nick Toth came out of nowhere. What a great defensive effort by Nick Toth.
Wow. Off the faceoff, puck controlled by Toth. Yeah, well, I don't know what happened to Ramo. He just fell down. The puck, it was a nice pass by Whitco. Now the Raiders try to dump it ahead, and it's going to be an icing. The Raiders were just moving it around, and it was a nice pass back to the point, and Ramo just lost his edge.
That mysterious, he's checking his edge right now. He did lose his edge. The old saying, you trip over the blue line on one of those, but a great second effort by Nick Toth.
Whitcup will take the face-off against Herlihy. Whitcup wins it again to Toth. Toth has it taken away by Herlihy, trying to wrap around, shot saved by DeLille. And that was a big save. And here comes Whitcup. Headman to Ramo, back to Whitcup, back to Foster. He leaves it for Whitcup. Whitcup gains the zone, takes it wide in the corner. Here's Whitcup behind the net. Whitcup circles. Massena with a two-man advantage. Back to the point, Toth with it. Toth goes to Ramo in the circle. Back to Toth. Toth winds up, his shot deflected, knocked down. And here comes Glens Falls out to center ice. Racing down the ice. The Indians, here's a sharp angle shot, and again, DeLille had to come up with a big save. Raiders back the other way. Here comes Michaud across the blue line. The defenseman falls down. Michaud, high attempt, goes wide. Back to the point. Toth keeps it in, dumps it to an open wing, and the puck cleared the blue line. Kept in, now it trickles out to center ice. Picked up by Whitcup to Michaud. Michaud dumps to Ramo, who dumps it in the zone. One of the penalties is elapsed. Now, wait a minute. No, they got 6 seconds left. I'm sorry. The clocks are out of sync. But the puck stolen by Catanzarite has it knocked away. Back to the point. Here's a shot in behind the net taken by Aaron Leduc. Raiders attempt to center it, but it's knocked away. Now Catanzarite throws a check, and the penalties have elapsed, so the Raiders not able to take advantage of that two-man advantage. And they did not look too good either. Now the puck inside Massena zone, right back out to the neutral zone. Bouncing around. And into the zone it goes. Is there going to be a penalty on Massena, or is that an offsides?
Penalty.
As I think Dupree's going to pick up the call.
There might be 2 penalties, in fact. One is, it's going to be, one of them is going to be Aaron Leduc, and it could be a slashing call anyway. Well, or is that Catanzarite down there? But it could be a double here.
I thought it was Zach Dupree. But Catanzarite, no, you're right. Hooking.
But there could be 2, as I said, Jerry.
I think you're
both
right.
Guys, the first one came, and then the second was the slash. The first one might be a hooker and interference. This could change the whole complexion of the ballgame.
Apparently not. Dupree dodged. There he goes. I thought they got him.
He thought he was going to dodge it, but the first call was against Katanzarek, and the second call was the slash.
So now the Raiders down 2 men for the entire minute and a half.
Boy. And as you said, Massena didn't generate. In fact, Glens Falls down 2 men, had the only 2 shots of that power play. There were 2 tough saves for Dusty DeLille.
2-0, Massena leading with 7:18 left, but here we go. Massena 2 men down for an entire minute and a half. Herlihy take the face-off. Whitcup, and it's won by Herlihy. Back to the point, back in the corner it goes. Herlihy after it, setting it up. Here's Herlihy back to the point. They move it to the other point. Here's a shot through traffic. Save made by DeLille. Kind of just hit him, but he was in the right spot. Back to the point. Along the boards, Herlihy looking. He's got a man right in front, goes behind the net, though. So they move it back to the point. There it goes, stolen away. We got another penalty on Aaron Michaud for interference.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy, I didn't see that. And the Raider coaching staff just livid over there. Massena running into penalties. They had killed off, 28 seconds that first double minor, but this will be a delayed penalty.
It won't start till these 2 are up. So we're in the same situation. Raiders 2 men down. Back to the point it goes. Here's a shot from the point, deflected into the corner. Around the horn, still controlled by Herlihy. Herlihy goes over on the other side to Gerard. Back in front, they move it around. Back to the point. Herlihy has it knocked away, gets it back again. Whitcup steals it, moves it out to center ice. Great second effort by Robbie Whitcup. 40 seconds left in the 2 penalties. Here come the Indians across the blue line. Toth knocks it away. It's flipped to the blue line, but not out of the zone. Controlled by the Indians in the corner. 30 seconds left. Back to the point. Here's a drive through traffic. Save made. Goes high in the air. Where is it? Nobody saw it. Now it's back toward the blue line. Whitcup trying to come up with it. He can't. The puck goes to Herlihy. Herlihy goes behind the net and around the boards. It goes. 15 seconds left. Puck back to the point. They move it around the horn. 10 seconds left. Here, right across the goal mouth. Back toward the blue line. Here's a shot high over the net into the stands. We're down to 4 seconds left in the 2-man disadvantage. But the face-off should be outside the zone, shouldn't it?
Sure should. Didn't hit anything. And
yes, it is.
It's going to come outside the zone.
That's a big break right there.
Excellent.
Raiders will get 2 men back here. But I think, do they have to wait till the next, how's that work? Next whistle?
To next whistle, but 25, Nick Toth,
no, they don't. That's right.
Robbie Whitcup, and Aaron Michaud, Ryan Ramo doing an excellent job in that 2-man down situation.
And they're calling over. They're not sure, I think, what to do here. The 2 men get back out. One man gets back.
The second, that delayed penalty can't stop until there's a stoppage of play. There's a whistle out there. That's
so they will get in 4 seconds. They get both guys back.
They get both guys back. Yeah, they'll come back
until the whistle. That's what they're asking about right now.
No, I don't think there has to be anything on the whistle. They've each got a minor penalty. When their penalty's up, they're out of the box. But the guy had the delayed penalty. His won't start until there is a whistle.
Okay.
They'll run that 130 up. Well, they can't get 2 out because they're still got the delay. They'll only get 1 out.
Okay.
That's right.
They had to decide who's coming out.
Who's coming out.
Okay. Levine will take the face-off. 4 seconds left in the 2-man disadvantage. The Indians, they moved it around pretty good. Didn't get a lot of good shots, though. Off the face-off. Puck sits at the blue line. Across the blue line, knocked out to center ice. Levine gets a piece of it. Here's Chris Levine. He dumps it deep. Raiders get a man back. And now it's just a single power play for minute 23. Here come the Indians. They lost it at the red line. Dumped right back by Levine. Chris Levine continues his excellent play. He really has stepped it up.
Inspiration. He plays with a lot of intensity.
Now the puck into the Massena zone. O'Herlihy has it knocked away, trying to get it back again. Levine comes up with it. Here's Levine, looking just to kill some time in the corner. The puck knocked away. Comes to Brian Hatch. Hatch threw a check. Comes up with a puck. Has it squirted away. Now Leduc throws a check. Battles for it there. He ties his man up, pins him on the boards. The puck squirts free. 47 seconds left. Back to the blue line.
You need a whistle, Jerry.
Yes, Massena needs a whistle big time. Here's a shot in front. They score a goal. That's going to be Pat O'Brien getting the goal. A power play goal with 39 seconds left in the man advantage to make it a 2-1 game for Massena.
They needed the whistle to get that other guy out of the box and start at penalty. They're still going to be down a minute 30, I do believe, with Glens Falls still going to be on the power play. It will be O'Brien from right out in front. Good job by the defenseman on that left side. Didn't get his number. He'll get an assist. He kept the puck in the zone, and O'Brien found himself alone in front of the net, and he slipped a low shot from about 15 feet out on the stick side of Dusty DeLille.
So we're down to 4:56. No, the penalty clock was running for that third penalty. So anyway, we're down to a 1-goal lead for Massena. Puck in the neutral zone. Picked up by the Indians. They try to move it ahead. It bounces high in the air. Nobody has it. Finally, Michaud does. Here's Aaron Michaud. Takes it across. Winds up his shot. Right on. Save made. Big rebound comes to Ramo in the corner. He'll dump it in behind the net for Whitcup. A little bit too hard. Goes around on the other side. 4.5 left here in the third period. A 2-1 game on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. Whitcup can't come up with a puck. Here come the Indians back in the Massena zone. Shot from center ice. DeLille makes the save. The puck cleared into the corner. Controlled by the Indians behind the net. Puck around on the other side. Matt Young after it. He'll flip it behind. They look to try to center it around the boards. Here's Young with it. Young shot knocked down. Comes to Brandon Hall. Hall's pass moves ahead to Whitcup. Whitcup doesn't clear the zone. Here's the defenseman pinching in. The shot trickles through a couple of legs and into the corner. Indians putting some pressure on here. Raiders just trying to move it out to the center ice. Ramo can't come up with it. Puck along the boards. They battle for it there. Where is it? And where is it? It's still free. And finally, they're going to blow the whistle. And we'll have a face-off in the Massena zone. 3:50 left in the third period. Raiders clinging to a 2-1 lead here on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. 3
Raiders along the boards right down in front of us. And Captain Nick Toth just got worked over by 28. That Nate Brosho, who was, he's got a mean streak in him, but he just got the stick up and the elbow up and did a face massage through that mask. And Nick Toth is really upset.
It'll be Foster taking the face-off against Herlihy. Just outside the dot in the Massena zone, off the draw, the puck comes to Gerard. He's ridden into the boards. Catanzari picks up the puck, trying to move it along the boards. It bounces into the circle. Leduc just flips it. I don't think that's going to go far enough for icing. Well, nah, it's going to die. He tried to wait, but low, big check thrown there by Catanzari. Levine picks up the puck, flips to Adam in behind, centering pass, Foster, oh, he missed just wide. Great opportunity, and Andrew fired it just wide. Hatch flips it back to the blue line, trickles in the red line. At the blue line, stolen away by Levine, barges his way through. Here's Levine's shot, he fired it in behind the net. Bouncing puck, cleared around the boards. Hatch keeps it in, we have a whistle. What now?
Oh, he's going to call a holding call, is it? Is that going to go against Massena?
Looks like it.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. These guys, I don't know where they, this is just blatant. So Adam Catanzari is going to get the gate, 3:09 left, but, oh, boy, can't comment on that, Jerry, but I'll let you take over on that.
Face-off will move outside the zone. Robbie Whitcup out there with Aaron Michaud, Brian Hatch, and Aaron Leduc. 2-1, Massena leads by a singleton, but they have to try to kill off another penalty. And now I think somebody's going to call a timeout.
Glens Falls called the timeout, but Raiders taking a bit of a little bit of a hosing, I'd say, right now on the officiating. They were cruising along with that 2-0 lead, and then 3 penalties in a row, and Glens Falls got a power play goal, and then they're going to go back on the power play with 3:09 left in the period.
So we've got face-off just outside the Glens Falls zone. 2-1 Massena leads here. Our broadcast today on WMSA brought to you by Nationwide Insurance and your local Nationwide agents, Robert Adams, Robert White, East Orvis Street in Massena, Massena Optics, Main Street, downtown Massena. Also by the members of CCOM Federal Credit Union, locations in Massena, Potsdam, and Malone. Seaway Orthopedics, Dr. Bedros Bakurtsian and the staff on Outer Andrew Street in Massena. North Country Savings Bank, locations in Massena, Potsdam, Canton, and Ogdensburg. Home of the no closing cost mortgage. Massena Memorial Hospital, quality health care in the Seaway Valley. The men and women of Alcoa's Massena operation. Seaway Tire for quality tires and great car care. East Orvis Street in Massena. Massena Savings and Loan, Main Street, Massena. And Mohawk Furniture, home of tax-free furniture. Route 37, Akwesasne.
Just prior to that penalty, great job by Catanzari as he muscled the Glens Falls player off the puck, put it out to Foster in front. He just shot it wide.
Whitcup will take the draw against Herlihy. Off the face-off, puck in the Glens Falls zone. They'll start out. To the Massena line. Leduc intercepts and dumps it back to the Glens Falls line. Herlihy again. He'll flip it on the other side for Girard. Girard shoots it from center ice. Dusty makes a save, holds on for the face-off.
Jerry, I got to believe that Captain Nick Toth must be injured or have an equipment problem, because he'd normally be out there, and he hasn't been in the last minute or so, and I don't know the reason, but...
Face-off will be in the Massena zone to the left of goaltender Dusty DeLille. 2:54 left in the third period. 1:15 in the Massena penalty. Off the draw, puck in the circle. Picked up there by Girard. He steps by the check, takes it behind the net, has it poke checked away by Hatch. Gets it back again. Circles back to the dot, takes it back to the blue line. Here's a shot from the point high, knocked down in front. Where is it? It's in the circle. Here's a shot. DeLille makes a save. Puck goes to the side of the net. DeLille covers up and holds on for the face-off.
Brian Hatch, two great defensive plays in this last sequence as he did a poke check the puck off of one of the players, and then just a second ago, as the puck was laying free, he just tied up the Glens Falls forward that he couldn't get the stick on the play. Two great defensive moves.
Face-off in the Massena zone. Michaud will take it against Herlihy. Waiting for them to drop the puck, they do. Off the draw, it comes to Michaud. He picks it up and finds the hole, and down the ice it goes. 50 seconds left in the penalty. Back after it is Naylor. Naylor starts out from behind his own net. Headmans to Herlihy. His pass is knocked down, but here come the Indians into the zone. That's Girard. Again, shot saved. Dusty holds on for the face-off. And again, number 28 runs him. That's Nick Brocha. Ran right into DeLille and knocked him in the net.
And he sticked him first after the whistle. The whistle blows. He's got the puck, and Brocha continues in, gives him a slash, and then runs him. Again, no call on that.
Face off in the Massena zone. It'll move to the right. And now we've got Nick Toth out there. It'll be Ryan Ramo taking the face off in the circle. It sits and it goes to Toth. Takes it behind the net, rips it around the boards. Not out of the zone, kept in at the point. We're down to 28 seconds left in the man advantage. They go D to D. Back to the other point, Girard. Girard flips it in the corner, knocked down by Hall, but it bounces behind the net to Herlihy. Herlihy trying to center, then gets it back again off a stick. Here's Herlihy to the dot. Back to the point. Here's a shot. They misfire on it. Raiders have a chance to break out and don't do it. They would have had a 2-on-none. Now the puck comes to the blue line, finally out to center ice. Here comes Ramo, right side. Ryan Ramo takes it in the corner, makes a move, gets in front all by himself, shot. Save made by Vatuski. And Ramo didn't get much on it, but he still gets a shot through in the corner. And that takes care of the penalty, but Massena could add another goal. And here come, they get a man behind the defense. That's Girard. He just gets tied up, and the puck goes to DeLille. And again, coming in and running the goaltender this time was Naylor.
And that Raiders dodged a bullet. We talked about it throughout the game, Jerry, that weak side guys getting in behind the defense, and they just ran it up the boards, and just Massena caught a break. Dusty DeLille had to come up with a big save, but just prior to that,
oh boy,
Ryan Ramo walked right in and tried to deke.
He undressed the defenseman, first of all.
He did, and but just couldn't beat Vatuski. Prior to that, his brother, killing a penalty, young Aaron, you got to clear the zone. He tried to break away, but lost the puck, and it almost backfired.
Now, why is the face-off outside the zone?
They froze the puck.
Oh, did they freeze it? Okay, I thought Dusty had it. Okay, so the face-off with 1:23 left in the third period moves outside the zone. The Raiders did. The Raiders did
kill off
that penalty. Yeah, I lost my train of thought there. Foster out there. Off the draw, the puck comes in the Massena zone. In behind the net, Aaron Leduc with it. Leduc looks for his wing. Levine couldn't come up with it. Here's a shot. Dusty grabs it and holds on for the face-off.
And again, I'm sure the coaching staff, the last thing is that line went over the boards. Think defense, think defense. We don't want three guys down low, down below the dot.
We don't need another goal.
Don't need another goal.
We just got to keep Glens Falls off the board.
Get the puck, dump it, and just send those two guys down, and make sure you have three guys back to help out. And watch the weak side wing over there.
1:13 left in the third period. 2-1 Massena leading on the Corky scoreboard. Foster will take the face-off against Herlihy. They got Richardson in the trigger spot, but it gets to him, but he can't get a shot off as he was pretty well covered. In the corner, it goes to Girard, moving it along the boards. Now they tie it up. It bounces right in front. Here's a shot. Dusty makes a huge save. How did he get that shot off?
Excellent job. I'm trying to pick up the number, Jerry, to see who it is, but that's a Hurley again.
Yeah.
Puck out of the corner. He was surrounded, Hurley, in front of the net by a couple of Raiders. It came out of the corner, and somehow he worked himself free, and in one motion, swiping at the puck, got a tough shot on, but Dusty DeLeo coming up big.
Face-off still in the Massena zone. It'll be Michaud taking the draw as the Michaud line, or I should say the Whitcup line. Off the draw, the puck comes to Raymond. He just dumps it, but that's not going to go far enough for icing because that ice is dead. Back in the zone it goes. In behind the net. Whitcup lost his edge. This is bad ice, I think, and several players have lost edges. Puck comes to Michaud. He just flips it off the boards. 45 seconds left. They're going to try to get into the Massena zone so they can pull their goaltender. Hard check thrown there. Brandon Hall comes up with it. From the red line, just dumps it deep in the zone. 35 seconds left. Here come the Glens Falls Indians dumping it into the Massena zone. In behind the net it goes. Brandon Hall with it. Looks. He's got room. Flips it. Has it knocked away. Puck in behind the net. It comes to Michaud. Michaud just flips it to the blue line, out to center ice. Now they have to get onside. 14 seconds left. Puck dumped in. We got an empty net at the other end. Puck around behind the net. 9, 8. Here's a shot high over the net. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here's a shot. Big save with 1 second left.